So guys, for today, I'll be comparing the Kyrie 1 or the Kai 1 from Anta, and this is the Shockwave 5. So this is not the Pro. The main difference between the Pro and the regular Shockwave is of course the materials only. But about the cushion and about the traction, it's relatively the same with the Shockwave 5 Pro. So I'm gonna test it out right now. Boy everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and for today's video, I'll be not just giving you the performance review of the all-new Kai 1 from Anta, and I will be comparing it with the Shockwave 5. Let's go. This is the brand new Kai 1 from Anta. It just released yesterday after filming this. So it's Kyrie's first signature sneaker from Anta, which is a milestone for he's a big name that's signed with a Chinese brand. Hopefully some other Chinese brand like Serious Players Only will sign a basketball player from the NBA because their shoes are incredible. But right now I'll be comparing the Kai 1 with the Shockwave 5, and technically Kyrie has been wearing the Shockwave 5 first when he was testing out Anta's sneakers, and eventually when he signed, he wore the Shockwave 5 Pro. But I'm actually comparing it with the Kai 1 with the Shockwave 5 because it has the same price point. This is, I think, also $120 US. This is $120 US because the Shockwave 5 Pro is around $185, and the main difference between the regular ones and the Pros are just the materials upper. I believe maybe it's kind of similar to the materials here in the Kai 1s, but overall the tech and the traction, it's pretty much the same with the Shockwave 5 regulars. So this is actually the finals colorway from the Shockwave 5 series. If you want to ask what colorway this is, it's the on the 4-on-4 tournament that Anta released last year. So this is the championship color, which is of course white and gold. And now of course let's compare it to the Kai 1. So the Kai 1s, I've been playing with it for almost an hour already, and so far unfortunately I'm still kind of injured, so I was technically walking gingerly, testing out the Kai 1s because I can't go on a full blast running up and down the floor, which shocks a lot, and even on my lateral movements I have to be cautious. But I'm getting better, so hopefully it will continue getting better. But right now it sucks not able to play 100% during my games, and I've been resting a lot lately. So enough about that, let's go back to the sneakers. So the Kai 1, initially, my first impression on the look of it, I really am impressed with the materials that they use. They use this kind of nice knit with this very nice graphic from Kai, which is like an African Native American graphic, which of course Kyrie is half African American and half American Indian, which is really nice because the American Indians are the really, I think, the OG Americans. So just kind of a history in America. It's the Indians that own the land of America. So he pays tribute and homage to his roots. So really hats off to Kyrie right now with his design language. He's actually the creative director of Anta for his shoes, and he did a great job maybe co-designing the sneaker because I really like the aesthetics on how it looks, the lines, even this graphic here on the side. This pair, actually the shape of it really reminds me of the Kyrie 5 from Nike, which also has a strap. And the strap here is mainly for aesthetics. It kind of gives you a better fit to the sneaker, but overall it doesn't do that much. So the fit of the Kyrie really comes out from the lacing system, which is the speed or the loop lacing system of the Kai 1, which really hugs your foot really nicely. And even the shape, top-down view of it, have the Kyrie 5 or the Kyrie 4, it has a similar look to it. And comparing it to the Shockwave 5 Pro shape, the Kai 1 is wider, especially on the forefoot. It has a lot more toe space compared to the narrower Shockwave 5. So take that into consideration. And in terms of height of the upper, also the Kai 1 seems to have a bit more bulge compared to the Shockwave 5, which is a little bit more rounded here. The Kai 1 is a little bit flatter. So for me, I like the shape more of the Kai 1s for my foot because I like it to be a little bit more snug on top of my toes. So that's one thing to consider on the Kai 1s. And also this teeth, this really reminds me of the Kyrie 4. Yeah, it has a lot of shark tooth here. And I think that's really, I don't know if there's something significant about that for Kyrie with this tooth in the medial side. But in terms of design, it really looks nicely. And as for lateral support, I would say the Kai 1s is better in terms of lateral support, mainly because of the materials that they use here. This TPU piece that goes up here on the lateral part of the Kai 1s, and even on this side, this TPU piece really hugs your foot really nicely. Even though the Shockwave 5 is not that bad either, it has this kind of semi-strap here, so when you tighten this up, it hugs your foot, but it's more around the mid-foot part of the Shockwave 5. But on the Kyries, it's more on the forefoot part and not around the mid part of the sneaker, which when you're stopping laterally, this really catches your foot better in terms of lateral support and lateral stability. This has the tooth, but mainly because I think because of the rounded shape of the Shockwave 5, the Kai 1 is a little bit more stable, and it is wider in the forefoot too. If you can put it side by side, you can see the Kais are protruding a bit more on the forefoot part of the sneaker. So it's wider on the forefoot, while on the heel, yeah, the Kais is still also wider in terms of the Shockwave. So the Kais is more stable for me in terms of stability compared to the Shockwave 5. And the lacing system, I like it better here at the Kais because of the speed lacing system. So when you pull it up, it hugs your foot faster compared to the Shockwave 5, which is harder to lace up and adjust the fit on the laces. And the laces of the Shockwave 5, I don't know if the pros have a better laces, but this one on the Shockwave 5 is the most regular ones that you can find in a basketball sneaker, while on the Kyrie, it's made out of a more premium and thicker threads compared to the Shockwave 5, and you can see it's a little bit more durable and it doesn't loosen up easily. While the Shockwave 5, you need to adjust it from time to time because the laces kind of loosens up over time. The tongue part, Kyrie's better foam padding on the Kyrie's, a lot more padding compared to the tongue of the Shockwave 5. Going to the back part of the sneaker, height-wise, at the back, it's pretty higher on the Shockwave 5, but around your ankle bone, which is this part, the Kyrie is better. It's thicker, it's more padded, while the Shockwave 5, you can see it's hollow here. So there's not much padding around your ankle bone. So I would say in terms of ankle support, the Kyrie ones are really put into consideration. I think Kyrie wants a very padded ankle collar. If you wear his previous sneakers from Nike, everything is padded around the ankle, even the heel containment. The padding is really nice on the Kais. They put much thought there. So heel containment lockdown is very good on the Kai ones. And comparing it with the Shockwave 5, this is far better in terms of containment and ankle support on the sneaker. There's an internal heel TPU on both sneakers that contains your foot, plus the Kai's foam also goes up in the medial part, so it gives you a little bit more caging for ankle protection. And even on the plastic piece, covers the cushion, the Nitro Edge foam also is higher on the Kais, so it really contains your heel better compared to the ones on the Shockwave 5, which just has this TPU piece here and doesn't have that much padding. The padding really is very exaggerated on the Kai ones. You can see how padded it is around the heel and ankle bone on both sides. So I think that's one of the strengths of the Kai ones. Now going to the cushion part of the two sneakers, the Kai one also features a full-length Nitro Edge foam, which is also on the Shockwave 5 Pro, but the main difference is the Shockwave 5 Pro has a bit thicker Nitro Edge foam. It's a lot bouncier. It has more impact protection in the forefoot especially. On the heel, they're pretty much the same in terms of impact protection, while the Kai ones is a bit more responsive, lower to the ground feel. Very similar to what Kyrie wants in his Nike sneakers. All of his Nike sneakers, even though it has Zoom Air in the forefoot, it's really close to the ground, so he really likes it close to the ground, and it has a very nice bounce to it, even though it's thinner. But if you want more cushion, if you want more impact protection, the Shockwave 5 Pro and the regular ones will give you that more. But if you want more responsiveness, court feel, the Kai ones is better in that aspect. But in terms of heel impact protection, I would say heel impact protection, they're both similar, but in terms of impact protection, the forefoot, the Nitro Edge foam and the Kais is a little bit lower compared to the Shockwave 5. As for the insoles, I would say they're pretty much the same material. But the Kyrie is pretty much glued down. I cannot remove it right now. But it's the same insole that you can find in all Anta sneakers. And it has a net strobo, which is good. So you can really feel the Nitro Edge foam on the Kais. Let's see on the Shockwave 5. Well, on the Shockwave 5, it has a strobo board. You can't feel, I think if they made it into a like the screen strobo, I think you would feel more of the Nitro Edge foam. But in terms of thickness, I would really say the thickness of the Nitro Edge on the Shockwave 5 is thicker compared to the Kyrie's. But the Kyrie's, that's why you could really feel the Nitro Edge, because it has a full-length screen strobo, and on top of it, you can feel the stability plate. I don't know if this is carbon though, but I think it's carbon fiber. It's a top-loaded carbon fiber shank, so it gives a bit more stability or torsional support on the Kais, which is not present in his Kyrie sneakers in Nike. So really nice that they put in that torsional support on the Kai ones. And now let's move on to the traction on both sneakers. This part also kind of reminds me on the Kyrie Force from Nike. This part, I think that really is something related to Kai's, and shout out again to Kai for his very nice logo on Anta. I like his logo more here in Anta because of that 11 in the middle and the mirror image of the K, which is really dope, especially the 4 elements here at the back. I know you've heard it from other secret reviews about the unboxing of this. I just want to give you my performance review out of the sneaker. And as for the traction of the Shockwave 5, it's also wavy. It's like water ripples here, but on the Kai's kind of different, more of his graphic. And after breaking the traction in a bit, I would say the Shockwave 5 grips a bit more compared to the Kai ones. So just a tiny bit, but in terms of squeakiness, the Shockwave 5 squeaks a lot more compared to the Kai ones. So in terms of traction, I would give it a little edge on the Shockwave 5 currently, because this two sneakers, this is a brand new pair. I just tested them out at the same time, so right now this grips a bit more because I think the Kai's traction, if you can see, it's kind of on the boss side, so it goes in, so there's not much traction protruding, unlike the Shockwave 5. You can see it protruding a bit more. I think that's one of the reasons why it's kind of better in terms of traction. But for outdoor use, I would say the Kai's will be a little bit better for outdoor, while the Shockwave 5, it can be used outdoor too. Still, the treads are very durable too, but the Kai's is, I think, it's a bit more durable because it's the boss. It's going inside, it's not going outside. So I think the traction, if you want to play with it for outdoor use, the Kai one will be nice in terms of durability of the rubber. But of course, the cushion on the Shockwave 5 is, I think, very nice, especially if you're playing for outdoor, which has a cement floor and doesn't have any give, and it's not that forgiving. As for the weight, I don't have a weighing scale here on the court, but I feel that they're pretty much the same weight. So around just, they're not heavy, they're not the lightest. Average weight for both sneakers. I think I weigh this, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correct, it's around 430 grams on the Shockwave 5. I reviewed this already. And heel to toe transition, pretty much the same on both. Very nice heel to toe transition on both sneakers. It's a guard shoe, of course. And yeah, as for the sizing, go true to size on both sneakers for a regular foot. And for wide footers, go half a size up. So that's my performance review on the all-new Kai 1 and comparing it with the Shockwave 5 Pro. Let me know what your thoughts are. Would you wait for the other colorways of the Kai ones, because this colorway sold out, the first colorway, and the Shockwave 5 Pro and the Shockwave 5 regulars are currently on sale? Or would you just rather settle on the Shockwave 5, or would you wait on the Kai ones? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hopefully you could hit the thumbs up button, comment down below. It will surely help me and this channel so that it will show up in the feed of other people who likes to read about and watch more about basketball sneakers. Another thing, before I go, shout out again to Anta for a very nice box on the first shoe of Kai from Anta. It has a very nice plastic cover here, and it is a sliding box too. So very nice box from the Kai ones, and his logo there with the graphic for Kyrie, two special graphic and special characters that was made for Kyrie. So that's it on my video. Thank you again for watching, guys. This has been MARKCHES. Catch you on the next one. Peace.